Out of the Box Podcast. Fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. You're about to watch Out of the Box Podcast. Watch at your own risk. Aliens, the paranormal, religion, politics, conspiracy theories, disclaimer, not responsible for minds blown beyond repair. Out of the Box. Presented by Jim Andre and co-host Bradley Powers. The show begins now. Hello, everybody. You're watching Out of the Box Podcast. I'm here with Bradley Powers and two guests, Shan Gilms and Regina Palmer. How's everybody doing today?
Really good.
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you, Regina. You had me worried for a moment, you know.
Thank
Regina.
you. Well, I'm having a hard time hearing you guys. My volume is all the way up.
Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that. Have you got headphones? Have you got headphones, Regina?
I do in the house, but Susan's sleeping and I'm not going back in. I've been running in and out for 20 minutes. I'll be okay. I'll just listen closely.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, here we have. I'd like to introduce Jim Andre, my host on Out of the Box podcast with Shan Gilms and Regina Palmer, who are both alien abductees. Shanna is an alien contactee, and she has experienced a lot of alien phenomena. And Regina Palmer is also a clairvoyant as well as an alien abductee. So,
hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
I can't say that it's a pleasure to be here, but it's a pleasure to be here with the intellects and the family that I've met through all of you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Right. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So what we'll be discussing today is alien contactee, alien abductee. Is it real? Hi, Levik Makarov. Thank you for joining us. Hello from the UK. We have a guest from the UK.
You're from the UK. Hello there.
Whoa.
Hello.
I'm from the UK.
Hello from Oklahoma.
Yeah, where are you from? You're from Oklahoma. Jim's from Florida.
I'm Idaho here.
To be honest with you, it doesn't mean a lot to me.
Shan, I'm sorry, you said Shan is from Florida?
Idaho.
No,
I'm from
Here
Florida.
over in my little tiny state, Idaho.
I think it's pretty active no matter where you're at in the world right now. No matter where. You know, there's things going on all over the universe. It's galactic. It's not just on Earth. It's galactic.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
And the activity is going to increase.
Yeah, I think so too. It's been increasing. It's been getting more intense and increasing.
I so wish I could share some of the videos and content that I have captured just over the past few days. It would blow your mind because I can't say that it would blow your mind. It totally blows.
Hello.
I can't even believe what I am blessed to see. I mean, it's just like, seriously, am I seeing this? And when I'm capturing it on video, and I know this phone video ain't lying either, and I'm seeing it from all three eyes, you know, both of these eyes and the third eye, and then the video capturing it too. I think it's pretty undeniable at this point.
I have a question, guys. I posted a few things on the site with Bradley, and can we bring up our videos? I mean, is that possible?
Is that what you got in the chat box, Bradley?
I'll shared just some 9 photos.
Yeah, let me see if I can locate it. I'll try.
Yeah, if you could just, you know, Shan and I have a few sharing platforms that we share them, but I am so busy taking them that I'm having a hard time even finding the time to share. And it needs to be shared. My gosh.
That's why we're
here. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. We're not alone at this moment. There's a lot of activity.
We've never been. But in 2012, the portholes started opening, and they have been traveling here from the sun, moon, and stars in portholes and wormholes and literal traveling black holes in space. I mean, they are omnipresent from every galaxy and galaxy and galaxy that we're not even familiar with yet, beyond our galaxies, beyond.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
right.
it's incredible what I see. I see things being birthed right out of the sun and almost instantaneously covering our sphere to create the sky paint that I'm capturing, and you would not even believe what they show me. It's
Okay,
like
there's one picture up here. What is this, Jen?
You see
it
which
blows my
one you got.
mind, but I'm open. That's why I'm receiving, because I'm very open minded and I'm very spiritual, and I've always been a contactee. I have literal years from the times I can remember, even as a child, of time lapses of things that I literally, my dad, I'd come home, be walking down the track to my cousin's house like early in the morning and gonna go spend the couple hours there. And next thing I know, I'm turned around and walking back home and it's almost dark. And I'm like, where have I been? And what am I going to tell my daddy?
Yeah.
Where have I been? And I would be like, literally all the way home worried. How am I going to explain all this? I left this morning and I don't know where I've been. And I know that's the first thing my daddy's going to ask me, many times, not just once or twice, but just frequently growing up. And
that is one picture of it's small in that photo, but triangular craft that I see here. Lots of triangular craft. And there are two types that I see. Ones are and I sent quite a few pictures of them. Some are little black triangular craft that go in and out of the clouds here and follow tubes.
Oh, they do. There's everything. There's like a whole ocean and sea and cities in those clouds.
And I
not
see
just
these
clouds.
huge triangular craft that people have videoed.
I see those all the time. I can't wait to share the captures that I've captured. Shan captures some good stuff too. She really does. I've seen a lot of Shan's captures.
Yeah.
And she sees a lot of the same things that we probably all see. I know I see. I don't know about anyone else here because I don't know you guys yet, but it's pretty incredible.
Those are them, how they hide in the clouds. I've got a lot of pictures of them.
They cloak in them. They actually can create them. These things that I'm seeing are like, did you ever see the movie, Avatar, for instance?
Yes.
It's a great
That's
movie.
the kind of stuff I'm seeing. I'm seeing giants looking down at me and iridescent. And then, you've got the white clouds around them, and it literally looks like they're stepping down out of the sky right on top of your house. Literal, like looking into dimensions of time. It's incredible. And I've got the photos to prove that I'm not crazy about what I'm seeing. I'm actually seeing what I'm seeing, but what is what I'm seeing?
Yes. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
I don't see this one. Do you have one up?
I'm having such a hard time hearing you guys.
I sent some other ones of the triangulars, the craft really close up too. I don't know if you got them, Bradley. Did you?
Girl, close up. They come right over my house. I mean, like, oh yeah. I've got literal craft. Look, the birds are not even real. Most of the birds flying around me are mechanical birds.
Yeah,
I do not. It could be like a deal with the devil kind of thing. It could be both alien AI and government spy things, but there's a camera looking at me right now. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna go right between these poles.
Yeah.
And on that pole across the street is a camera looking at me. There's another one right there.
They like to show off.
Well, I'm watched, and if I'm watching, like this morning and yesterday too, I was standing, I walked out, looked up, and it was like, oh my God. So I turned the camera on, and I'm standing out on the sidewalk looking up, video and the phenomenon happening cop drives by, slow, looking at me like, what are you videoing? Because there's so much going on down here, guys, and I'm a part of that. My brother they watch me. I sued the city of Broken Bow, and they're all being exposed. And I don't trust anybody right now. I don't know who to trust and what to say to anybody except the damn truth and deal with it.
Hi, Terry.
And that's where I'm at right now. I watch everything.
And Vic
I don't want to be paranoid. I'm not trying to be paranoid. I'm trying to be vigilant and smart.
Well, what I see is,
and aware.
I've been so overwhelmed with stuff that's going on up there that there was a time when I first came on this show with these guys that I was so uptight about everything that I was seeing. And I've seen giants. I've seen the Eye of Ra. I've seen craft like crazy. And they like to show things. Our kids might be different. I don't know. But so far, my personal experience with them, they haven't all been bad. But a lot of this that is going on above us is negative. And a lot of people say they trick us. Well, in my situation, I thought I was seeing and being around something so incredible. I was out standing directly under these ships out in this field. That is a living ship, I believe. And I could even see like veins in it. The one before that was out here in Idaho.
I can further prove that there are ships in those clouds, Shan. You're not crazy, honey.
And there are people coming out that are able to bring them out of the clouds somehow with their technology.
I do. I call them out. I got angels. You should see the photos of the angels watching over me last Tuesday when my best friend and I went to McCartan County. We grew up together down there. We know the darkness in that county. And we have long been battling it. I've been, my brother was murdered in 1998, and it was going on as a child, as my father was growing up there. It's just been long-term darkness of unsolved and ridiculous murders and crimes and hate crimes and meth and everything dark that you could possibly imagine in that county. And now, a couple of years ago, someone was beat to death, and they freaking admitted it on tape. It was a horrible, horrible thing. I mean, just literally, the Daily picked it up. It's on the freaking all over national news now, and they're just mocking the McCartan County Sheriff and the commissioners for their hate crimes and what they literally said on recording, and it's all over the world. It's not good. There's been a bomb threat right after we got home Tuesday at the McCartan Memorial Hospital. I mean, people aren't taking it too calmly. They want the sheriff to resign, and he's refusing to resign, if you can even imagine. It's not a pretty situation down here. There's a lot of darkness being exposed, and in the middle of this transition, there is a lot of angels over me.
Vic asked how long.
Yeah, ladies, wait a minute, hold it.
They're everywhere, guys. I can't begin to describe. I mean, I've got photos of these are true angels. These are true beings up there flying around, watching over me all the time, protecting me. And it has been from here. I've been all my life. I've got it from here all the way across the country. Phenomenon is mind-blowing. I've got enough for a documentary in and of my own records. Flying saucers, flying bees, fake fake. I mean, and then I honestly believe that is government stuff. And then the aliens on top of that fighting it. I really do. I think that they are more the takeover in the skies than what we think is our government painting our skies. Maybe they've taken over our government. Has anybody thought that could be a possibility? That might be why they're just freaking backed off and dumbed down and nothing's getting done. And I don't know.
We've got some questions for the forum as well. It's a lady.
We got to interact We have to interact with the viewers as well. Okay, now we got a question here.
Okay.
And how long has your experience been going on?
I'm around 7 years now.
For you, Shan, 7 years?
Yeah, mine really strong and heavy for 7 years.
And how about you, Regina?
All my life. The clairvoyancy, the psychic visions and phenomenon, all my life. And it's just continuously gotten stronger as I've gotten older. But yeah.
That's a strange photo of what a lot of us perceiving the sun as white now. And to me, it's part of a huge craft above us. And there's a lot of photos going on around with people seeing the same phenomena. And
I've got video from years back of that phenomenon. It does. The sun literally morphs, splits, can stretch. I mean, it's like, have you ever looked at the complexity of an octopus? That is literally what our sun is like. It can do all of those magical things that an octopus does.
It's a portal.
And just wrap its tentacles around the universe.
To me,
it can spit out high-speed CMEs, you know, that 186 million miles per second. Can you concept? Can you conceive?
Yeah.
That's fast.
They say the octopus
it's almost instantaneously.
They say the octopus is from outer space. It's not actually from Earth as well. That's what
yeah, I've heard that. I've heard the same thing. And I just heard some about Antarctica, the being that is slowly coming out that they ran into, that killed some divers down there, is like octopus crazy being that froze. A guy in the military has come out with it, and then Antarctica stories, and it froze them before it even got up to them. So that is something so beyond, you know. And these stories are coming out. I'm so glad.
They are.
So thankful that the truth is coming out.
Terry Lynch from ASDP says is a UFOlogist. Shan Gilms, I think you guys are doing a great podcast. This is good disclosure. ASDP's disclosure starts with your story and respect. David Nash says, thank you for that, Terry. David Nash says, hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Has your experience been predominantly a negative or positive experience?
I just want to say hi to everyone.
Yeah, hi, Mike Hewins.
Thank you all for being here.
Mike Hewins is just
we have a great group of people that I've got to experience for the last 7 years. I'm so thankful. Terry Lynch, Donald Laseda, Annabelle Quinones, these guys, I'm so thankful. They got me through this. You know, I'm still sane, and
I just call Annabelle Q.
I deal with the negativity on a nightly basis, and
Mike Hewins.
I will not.
I've got a guy here called Mike Hewins. He's just lost his mother. Mike Hewins has just lost his mother, and can we all reassure him there is a life after death? She's not in pain no more. She's gone to a better place. If you want to look at it like that, Mike. You know, I just thought I'd share that with you. And
you know, one of the experiences I'll never forget out of all of this, and it is so profound, is I woke up to what I can only tell you as half of my soul being pulled out of my body. And it was physical. It was a physical thing. And I started swinging, and it felt like I was hitting a million mosquitoes, which I have video of them in my home. They're real, and I can't tell you exactly who or what's doing it, but I can tell you that some of the things that I've seen and dealt with are very negative. Very negative. And that's something that is a truth. It's not all love and light, definitely not. But I had a lot of good ones too. So
Well, you're right. It's not all of either, but thankfully my experiences have been less of the darker and more of the light, but the dark that has happened has been the worst. I mean, it's like it's real. Spirituality is real.
Yes,
Darkness is real. Evil is real. Evil
I have a
is
really
as
good
real as love.
Yeah.
What if
I agree
this has
with that.
been what holds me pretty steady? What if this is being done to us as a very deep lesson, even if it's negative? I have to look at the bright side of all of it because I know now for a fact that we have souls. I can say that, which is so profound. You know what I mean? And I've done lots of research about all of this for years. And the truth is with like the Hathors, and the truth is with our really ancient writings, Egyptian writings, the cuneiform tablets, all this. And God, of course, God, not the demigods. They were here too. There's so much to this story that most of us have no idea about. Research it. It's important.
Vicar Makarov is actually saying, can I ask you, ladies, what happened to you when you were abducted?
I do not fully remember my abductions. I have implants in my ears that move around like bugs. Others do too. I want to clarify that in the group that I'm usually in, there are other people experiencing these things also. So I have implants, missing time, bloody noses during that time, owls going off all around my windows.
Owls?
Owls.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm having a hard time hearing. I was just trying to hear. Go ahead, Shannon.
All the things that I've heard, in the last 20 years, you ask yourself, yeah, could that be true? But most of what people have said, and I've experienced, I now know them to be true. It's not a bunch of nutcases coming out and embarrassing themselves in public, especially before 10 years ago. It's people that are experiencing these things. They are real, and I can say I've experienced a lot of them now, and I don't lie.
No,
And I'm not ashamed.
Right. Yeah.
I started out with an insecure girl about all this, and I have
I'm not. I'm the same way, Shan. I'm not gonna lie about anything. What's the point? I mean, I'm not here to tell lies. I'm here to tell truth and get the stories out that that we are a universe as one, and we've been captivated on our marble by a dark force, and it's a breakthrough. It's a breakthrough event that's happening. We are lucky to be here in this day and time to be witnessing all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We have Star Seeds watching this show as well. There were Star Seeds watching this show. You're clairvoyant, Regina, so tell Mike Hewins there is a life after death. His mother's at peace now. She's not in pain anymore, and there is a life after death. You can validate that, Regina, can't you?
Yeah, that's right.
I can.
Death is a mere
because
Jim speaking. Yeah.
There is no heaven or hell per se, like a place that everybody's just bound to for that time. There is an evolving event of dimensions that every soul and being must go through, and it is an evolution of time. It is time as now evolved. It is not as we conceive it, as that we are just seeds here born and we're dead and we're going to resurrect one sweet day when Jesus comes back.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on all that. But what I'm saying is, and I just believe from a whole realm of magic for universe as energy. When we transform as energy, be it bad, good, or otherwise, we are also in a dimension of that level of growth. That's why we're here with all these people. We're growing with them.
Yeah.
We are trying to all help each other ascend into a higher consciousness beyond this captivity of dumbed down kind of, well, I'm just supposed to go to work and come home and feed the cat and go to bed, and that's all there is to life. And
Yeah,
pay the
we've been
government.
lied to the fullest extent, and things have been covered up so disgustingly. It's just pathetic how most humans aren't even aware. They really do think that we are here and then we die.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's
And
the
we don't. We don't.
that's the
It goes on
consciousness.
and on.
That's the sleep state of captivity. That's the whole
Mhm.
thing of freedom here. It's not, so many times I've been through so many things that it's just unimaginable. I could write a horror book and it would be the damn truth, and people think I'd be making up fiction. It's that kind of crazy stuff. All of my life, all the way through all of those things, I have always stood strong. I'm like, world gonna fall apart around me, but I'm gonna land on my feet.
Vic
What
Makarov
the hell's
is
happening? I ain't no.
Vic Makarov is asking, do you ladies know which aliens abducted you?
It's like
I,
I've always had a little bit of higher level of consciousness above everybody else, and I can see where even my dad was a hellcat. His nickname was Bear, and he lived up to it. He was an alcoholic, and it was not a fun time to grow up in it. It was not a fun thing to have to experience, but I experienced it. But even through all of that and all of the things that I had to see, it was like, I am not going to do that. I am not going to be that. I can see so badly how bad this world is messed up all the way around me, even as a child, always trying to help somebody, always being the empath, always being the nurse. If somebody was bleeding, instead of running from it, I would run to it and plug it. It was
I
just a
think that
natural thing for me to always care about life, all of it.
I
Mother
think
Earth, my God, this planet is so gorgeous, but she's frail, she's fragile, and we are abusing her big time.
Yeah. How do you ladies know which aliens abducted you?
Pardon
I
me?
have a pretty good idea.
Well,
I witnessed one come out of a craft, and it was a completely black, muscular being with huge black wings. He looked both ways and flew so fast, like seeing a UFO go by that fast.
Well, he was.
So I think I'm dealing with draconians because I researched it and researched it. When I saw that, my heart dropped to my feet. I shook all over. My family knows what I'm going
Shan,
through.
maybe I can put that into a little bit of a better perspective for you, honey. Think of it like this. Just imagine if the consciousness, once it transforms, and all of the people who have preceded us on the planet, the history of it, dinosaurs and all, not people, not just people, but beings. If all of that consciousness all woke up all at once, wouldn't that be spiritually considered the second coming of Christ?
Well, yeah, I think that all plugs in.
Isn't that a consciousness, a state of consciousness, a being of wow?
I happen to think it's beyond that. I think that there are races that battling over Earth.
I've got a picture this morning of literal, the sun splitting and making all kinds of rainbow colors, and then out from one side of it protrudes the whole face, like the face of the sun, and in many forms, and it's just literally morphing and transforming, and I've got photos to prove it. It's like, how much more proof does the universe need that it is pure magic, and that we are such we're not advanced people.
I
We
know.
are a dumbed down race stealing their technology because we found it on Earth from it being buried from prior times before us. And
There's so much
that we think
don't
our
know.
even our government and our we have some amazing technology, but we still know nothing
I'm
compared
gonna
to the
bring some up.
technology of
I don't
ancient
know.
civilizations and ancient aliens or
Uh,
spirits or gods, whatever you want to call them. It is an entity of a being of energy transformed and evolved and ascended and or what? Descended down.
we've been
And
like
where's the
that
battleground?
in history. I want to
Where's the
bring up Greg
battleground?
Braden for a minute. I don't know if
Earth. It's
any
a
of you guys
footstool.
know who Greg Braden is. He's a scientist
We're
and he's
fighting
on
for the peace, for Earth's
well,
inhabitants, and for the ongoing life of Earth. She's being transformed. That's why we're having earthquakes. That's why we're having tsunamis. That's why we're having, all of the things that are happening, all of the space weather, everything, the 26,000 year cycle that is here, that we are experiencing in this now, all meant to
I
be.
think so too,
And we
definitely.
have to be able to conceive it that way, or we're going to get stuck in the mud down here, wallowing around trying to figure out the whys, the hows, and the whos, when it really doesn't matter. What matters is what is here and there that we can pull in and conceive as one love to help ourselves ascend and help others around us ascend into a higher, greater consciousness of being, so that we can be in
It's
another
hard
dimension, the
because
fifth and sixth and
our,
further dimensions. Still got
our
work to do there too,
society
guys. Don't think that you
was
just go
taught,
rest in peace, because it's not that way, angels.
Yeah.
our society's been so misled
The truth
and
teller.
all those mysteries
Tell
covered
it
up.
like it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why I love these shows, because the more we express things and other people, the more it helps.
Yeah. I agree.
I want to mention to everybody that the documentary, The Middle, some of my stuff is in there. Harry Lynch is pretty much the star of it, and he's found these things he calls the cascaded guides, and they're two elongated skulls sitting back to back, and they're made out of rocks, and it's something ancient.
Amazing
And
find.
he's got video of craft going
Yes.
in and out of the properties around him, and it's real exposure. It's real disclosure, and the team of people, they're normal people like us, So, and Regina, I think that you and some of your stuff is going to be in the second one. And Donald Laceda, Annabelle
I
Quinones, Terry
am.
Lynch, and other people. That's a really good one to watch. It's on all kinds.
It's an
on
amazing
TV.
documentary, and it's an important one, and that's why I agreed to be in it. And speaking of that, and going back to a question that Bradley had for both of us earlier, and Shan answered, but I didn't because we got on another topic, was what happened when you were abducted? Wait a minute. Let me see what this car is doing here. It's backing up. And oh, it's turning in there. Okay, it might be my neighbor. Someone. Yeah, it's my neighbor. Okay, so anyways, when I was abducted, and I call it an abduction because it was done without my permission, but it was done from a locked house with the security system on from my bedroom. And I had been documenting and filming the sky and the phenomenon, the sun bursting, and all of the action that I was actually seeing for quite some time, but really heavy for 3 days. I was staying with a friend who had hip replacement surgery, and she was on the couch. and she had her 9-year-old granddaughter. Hi. And her 9-year-old granddaughter was playing softball, so I was taking her to the softball field. And while she was playing softball, I was out in the parking lot videoing the sunburst. And I am standing out there in awe, and people are looking at me like I'm freaking crazy. What is that woman doing? You know, and I couldn't take my camera off of it. I'm like, I can't even believe this is happening. The world's not going to believe this is happening, but this is proof that the clouds that are freaking hovering over Earth are sent here straight from the sun. It's like, and then anyways, going back to that, I was going through all of this awakening, and we went to bed. We got home from the softball practice, and we went to bed. About 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up in excruciating pain. I was cramping so bad in my lower abdomen, like I just had a baby or something. I mean, bad cramping. And I didn't go to bed this way, so I'm thinking, what the hell? What, did something break, rust, what? But I could hear, I knew. It was like I had this awareness, but the memory was wiped out, but the subconscious was telling me, yes, it happened. It's happened. But anyway, as I got up and went to the bathroom and, was doing my business, and it was just so much pain. I couldn't even believe it. And I'm hearing the frequencies, even from the bedroom, from getting up. I was like almost like I was coming off of an anesthetic or something. It was like, what is that frequency? Because this frequency in my head was so loud, it almost sounded like four-wheelers or motors, like revving and then lowering the motor, but a bunch of them from a distance, but they literally sounded like they were around me, not on the ground. It was just that kind of frequency. Yeah. And then I was just hearing all kinds of these high frequencies going off in my head. And I'm doing this, I'm like, what happened to me? So I didn't tell Lynette. I did not tell Lynette. Lynette would have freaked out. Lynette don't believe in that stuff. And I was there taking care of her, and I didn't want to freak anybody out. And I was just trying to analyze and trying to conceive it all myself. So 3 days later, I had my ex-husband to come get me. And I went back home to D-Queen. And I went to the doctor. And I told her, I don't know what happened, but I think I might have got spider bit or something. But I just woke up cramping the other morning, and I can't stand the pain here, So she examined me. And when she was done examining me, she said, I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you what it isn't. It's not a spider bite. And I said, explain. She said, well, there's 3 puncture wounds, 3 holes, and a spider would only leave 2. And I don't think a spider could bite you in a triangular, perfect, rectangular time 3 times if it was a toothless spider. I'm like, okay. So she gave me some cream and antibiotics and said, if it gets any worse, come back, that kind of thing. But I already knew. And so when I got home, I had my ex-husband to take some photos of me. And he did, and I pulled them up, and I was just in shock even more, because it was just like everything I was doing was just totally confirming that this had happened. It really happened. So that was let me get the date straight. I'm pretty sure that was March or April. I think it was late March, early April of 2019. And since in May, I took off. I ran. Mentioned that earlier. I went to New Hampshire to do music, and it followed me. It was all the way across the country, and every 3 months it comes back, and I get clipped again. It's literally like it took a biopsy. It just literally like it took a biopsy.
Yeah.
And it comes back about every 3 months and gets another one. Maybe it's getting an embryo. Maybe it's in impregnating me, but I don't even have a period.
Yeah.
There's a
I
dog
was
fight over there. What
attacked
the heck's happening? You guys
and
hear
on
that?
my back for a year, and nobody knew what was wrong with me. And I even had an operation done on my back. Something that was shaped like the point of a pyramid poked out of the scar on my back. I had my daughter take video. We've got video of it. Whatever happened to me, I was in so much pain that I couldn't even think straight. And the only thing that would help me is scalding hot showers.
Yeah, me too. I have to take a lot of Epsom salt soaks.
Yeah, me too. And I have, I don't want to sound completely crazy, but I do have them in my body. I have these little tiny things I filmed in my home that they're black and they're super fast and they travel in an electromagnetic field in my room. I've had it tested by Annabelle Quinones. I have multiple videos of them. They are in my body.
Well, because it's microscopic. It can be so condensed and microscopic. Like, for instance, the DNA. I mean, a speck of it, like a speck that you can't even see, can make a difference in something if it is in your bloodstream. And so they do have particles and tiny micro chips and or organisms that they implant that literally take a life and grow in your life. They can do that. It's almost like a leech sucking on a fish in the sea. It becomes a part of it. It don't let go.
Like I'm marked,
or a parasite.
They're called alien parasites, and they are intelligent, and I don't think they're from here. And I have seen enough by now to know that it's from those ships I stood under. It's from the ship's eye video.
It's also coming down in the weather.
That it's them.
There's all kinds of particles in everything: the snow, the rain, the lightning, the everything is. It's almost overwhelming to bring these truths out, because the world is going to say, "My God, that's been going on around us all of our lives, and we haven't noticed it till now." And when you hear the truth, it's almost like it's a soul feeding, because you want more of it. And I've been such a truth seeker my whole life. The first song I ever wrote, I'm a songwriter, singer-songwriter, by the way, too. Have been my whole life, a lifelong lyricist, and they just went into a briefcase as therapy. Didn't do anything with them till I was 50. But because I do now, and I did, and the first song I ever constructed at 15 was spiritual. It was not so much as a religion, but the one of the best lines in it is, "Come, Holy Spirit, and be my shield as I long to do your will." There's jets going over me now.
Tamara L. Collins is asking, who is Lay? What species were they?
But it was powerful for a 15-year-old, and it was meant. I meant it, and that's always been instilled in my internal barometer. Don't buy into the religious stuff. Don't buy into this government stuff. Don't buy into that. Look them in the eyes. You know when somebody's lying. You know when somebody's telling you the truth. Use your barometer and keep that meter on high alert all the time. And I have always just been able to read people. And I am also an empath. So even though I read evil in someone, doesn't mean that I'm going to turn away from them. It means that I'm going to try to help them see some light, because they are important beings too. And don't let anyone ever tell you any differently. I'm not beating the demons up anymore, because they are the reason we're brought to the light to begin with. They have a mission just like we do.
Sherry Brett says, I ended up in hospital, had a belly that looked 7 months pregnant, and she felt movement and she witnessed a child being removed from her without cutting her 2 times, was in loads of pain, bled for 17 weeks, was screaming in pain. A doctor couldn't find anything that in the operation and the scans. So,
Yeah. And you know, when I got my
experience.
implant, see, I have an implant here too in my back, right here.
Yeah.
This happened at 21 and happened during an ectopic pregnancy. And right after that, I had to go have an emergency surgery and have a tube removed. This was in there. This was there when it was over.
Terry Lynch says, Bradley, both of your guests are part of the ASDP ufology. Shan has footage in the middle, Cascadia guides. Yeah,
yes.
Both are guests on Terry Lynch and Donald his show as well.
And you know, ironically enough, I was in Oregon when that happened, when the ectopic pregnancy happened, and that's where that's where the Cascadia gods are too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got an amazing story and some great footage. Unbelievable.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I know these people pretty well, and they're amazing folks. They really are.
I've met some amazing people here, and I tell you, I've waited my whole life to meet you guys, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Finally, our paths have crossed.
Yeah.
Thankful for a whole bunch of people's paths that are crossing at this time.
Yes.
You know, I have had the privilege and opportunity to meet the neatest people that are having crazy experiences like we are, and everyone seems to be slightly different. But the fact is, it's happening on a grand scale. It is not a few of us anymore. It's a lot of us. And Bradley and Jim both have had their own experiences.
Yeah.
Everyone has. Everyone here has, in some way or another, either either directly or indirectly. I think at some point, everyone will have their experience, and they will realize that they are the experience.
I definitely think so. And that thing about the universe inside of us, that's on a grand scale too, because I do realize that one thing this has really done for me is make me look at me. Asking
it did me too.
Questions. So why me? Why is these horrible things happening? You know,
I shut the world out and sought.
There's a reason. There's a reason
here. I don't want to hear anybody's explanation. I want to find my own. That was my soul's ambition, is to not listen to anything. Don't let anybody try to explain it to you. You need to analyze it yourself, and you need to understand it yourself, by yourself, and not be swayed or persuaded by anyone else's decision or thought about this, because this is a personal experience that you, me, we each need to deal with individually. So it's good to have people who understand that, but we each have different stories and experiences to share with each other, and they're all amazing.
Yes, they are. They're beyond, is all I can say. Beyond.
Sharon Brett says she visits and connects with her ET family regular. See, a lot of the people that in the forum, thank you for all your contributions, everybody. Sorry we didn't get to respond to them all. As you can see, Shana and Regina have both got a lot to share. They've got so much that they need to share.
I am looking forward to hearing everybody on the site, the hidden truth about everything unusual. The whole thing there was for people to feel comfortable and to come out. And I don't care, you know, you have this little thing, most people, oh God, what are people going to think? It's beyond that now. It's time to share. It's time
I'm still not comfortable with sharing it, but I know that that's my mission. I know it's my mission to share what I'm finding and to wake the world up, help them wake. I mean, can't wake anybody up. They have to wake themselves up. But it's almost, you're not going to find this kind of news on the news media. This is truth news. This is truth and discovery and documentaries that cannot be excused as inadmissible, because it is it's relevant to fact that we're pulling up, and it's like, if you refuse it, there's nothing nobody can do to make you accept these things. Nobody.
Part of it that I feel is just really important about this whole thing is ancient history, because
yes, we are in a history making event.
Well, we are having ours, but we need to forget everything that they taught us, which was bullshit, and go back to ancient history and the proof, because it's there.
That's right.
The Hathor stories and the Anunnaki stories.
Right.
We need to start.
And you see, we've analyzed those things. We already know that those things are true.
Not
Therefore,
everybody does.
we should kind of set aside the past and keep it here, but look forward and move forward into the future. We are in 2023.
But we can't know anything about ourselves without knowing what our real past was.
Exactly. But now that we know, we need to look, and we know who we are. We know what we're here. We know we're starseeds. I know I'm a starseed. My gosh, I didn't create this, but whoever did, I can't complain.
I can't dwell on the negativity.
Sometimes I didn't know what I know. But then again, I can't really honestly say that, because I am glad that I get to see and witness all I see and witness. There's nothing like it on earth. There's nothing like being a spiritual clairvoyant that gets to see all the magic that other eyes don't get to witness. There's nothing like it. That being said, I'm a peaceful woman for that reason. I just accept it. Took me 50 years to receive it and accept it, but I'm 56, and for 6 years I've owned it. This is who I am. This is not fake. This is real.
It's definitely something you have to put everything around and accept. It's not something that you'll go crazy if you don't accept what you've seen, what you've dealt with.
A lot of people do. That's the deception and the depression that creates usually fear and or suicides or murders or all of the crazy things that are going on, because people can't deal with it. They can't deal with it. The darkness is one. It's beat them.
Tamara L. Collins says she had a brain abscess, no infection in her body to warrant this experience, was a victim of abuse by a micromanager while my father was transitioning from Agent Orange, while my brother from Vietnam met him at the Pearly Gate portal. Never met my brother in life physical, but just energetically. Thank you for sharing that, Tamara.
Wow.
Yeah. We feel things. Something connects with us, whether it's God, higher beings, lower beings. It's something that we receive all the time, especially if you open up to it. I was told you have to actually say, higher beings, please come into my life. Please help guide me. Please help me understand. And I do get knowings. And knowing is all I can call it. And then I go, wow.
Well,
that makes sense. And thank you, because I know that wasn't me that thought that thought.
Well,
right. And Shan and Bradley and I discussed this the other day. There are both malevolent and benevolent beings all about it. Every race or being of race that ever existed. And if it ever existed, it still exists. Its DNA still exists. Its light and or dark being that it was, its soul and energy still exists in the universe. It's there. And then when they can master their own dimensional growth, they got vehicles that can go light speed. They can freaking morph. They can turn into anything they want to be. You can see a human walking in front of you, and it might be a literal angel that ain't human at all, just there to help you through the day, to give you something that you need, or give you a look or a smile or something that's going to change your path or way of thinking or anything. I mean, so many signs all the way around us. Look at these beautiful roses right here. You think those things don't speak to me? I mean, they do. They do.
Yeah.
Everything is alive. Every living organism has something to contribute to the whole. We are a whole universe of consciousness.
Inside and out.
Well, we've got 5 minutes left of the show now. We're coming to its end. Thank you for sharing your experiences. You both had a lot to share. Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I bless everyone. You guys just stay safe, vigilant. Invite the good energies. Keep that frequency high because it is raised. That's why the Schumann resonance is going crazy, because of people like us.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to come on your show, guys.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure
having me on.
You guys stay positive and stay strong.
Yeah.
We're going to get through this.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
right. Peace out, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Much love to everyone. Peace, love, and music. And you